Okay, so let's now proceed with the second important principle stated in Section 1 of the Bill of Rights. It is the equal protection of law. What is the meaning of this? All persons similarly situated must be similarly treated, both as to rights conferred and responsibilities imposed. However, it does not demand absolute equality. So, hindi ang equal protection of law ay hindi nagbibigay na dapat lahat tayong tao ay pantay-pantay. Absolutely. So, no. Such equal protection of law principle does not demand absolute equality. There must be a valid classification. So, a valid classification may be allowed. Okay? So, let's now state the requisites of the equal protection of law. The first requisite is such classification rests upon substantial distinction. So, dapat merong substantial na pagkakaiba. Okay? So, there was a case decided by the Supreme Court in Mirasol versus DPWH. DPWH Administrative Order 1, prohibiting motorcycles on limited access highways. So, syempre, the petitioner assailed the constitutionality of such administrative order by the DPWH. The Supreme Court held that there was a real and substantial distinction between a motorcycle and other motorized vehicle because it was stated that not all motor vehicles are created equal. So, ang sabi ng Supreme Court, yung pagbabawal lamang sa mga motorsiklo doon sa limited access highways ay pwede because there was a valid distinction. Merong pagkakaiba ang motorsiklo sa iba pang mga motorized vehicle. Okay? So, in order to comply with the first requisite, dapat meron talagang klaro at substantial na pagkakaiba. Okay? So, let's proceed with the third requisite of equal protection of law. Number 3 is it must be germane to the purpose of the law. Yung distinction, dapat merong reasonable relation doon sa purpose ng ginawang batas. So, kunyari doon sa prohibiting motorcycles in limited access roads, siguro ang pwedeng maging rason yun ay dahil delikado ang motorcycle sa limited access highways. So, there must be a legitimate reason for and its relation to the purpose of law. Okay? So, let's proceed with the fourth requisite. The fourth requisite is it must not be confined to existing conditions only. So, yung valid distinction hindi pwedeng para lang sa ngayon. It must apply to the succeeding times. So, it must not be confined to existing conditions only. So, there was a case or an instance na during Pinoy, President Noynoy Aquino, there was an establishment of the Philippine Truth Commission to investigate the immediately preceding administration only. Okay? So, gumawa ng Philippine Truth Commission para imbestigahan ang immediately preceding administration lang. Okay? So, yung administration ni former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. And the Supreme Court stated that it is invalid and unconstitutional for it is violative of the equal protection of laws. Okay? Because the immediately preceding administration is not a valid and substantial distinction. So, anong pinagkaiba ng ibang other administration doon sa immediately preceding administration? So, the Supreme Court held it invalid and unconstitutional. Okay? The Supreme Court also stated that citizenship is a valid classification. There was a case decided by the Supreme Court imposing different responsibilities and different rights to um, foreign merchants and Filipino merchants. The Supreme Court held that citizenship is indeed a valid classification. Dahil, syempre, yung mga aliens or yung mga foreigners, yung kanilang loyalty or their allegiance is with the country na kung saan talaga sila na pinanganak. Okay? So, basically, citizenship is a valid classification. Let's now proceed with Section 2 of the Bill of Rights. Okay, let's read the codal first. Section 2. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for any purpose shall be inviolable, and no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witnesses he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Okay, so ano ang ibig sabihin ng Section 2? Okay, so in layman's term or in Tagalog, ang bawat individual, pati na ang kanilang property or pagmamayari ay pinoprotektahan laban sa unreasonable searches and seizure. Okay? So, paano or kailan nagiging unreasonable ang searches or ang seizure? Una, if wala at all na pinakitang warrant of arrest or search warrant, provided na hindi siya kasama sa exceptions na babanggitin natin mamaya. Pangalawa, kung hindi sumunod o kulang ang mga requisite para sa isang valid search warrant or valid warrant of arrest. Again, as a general rule, ang pag-aresto at pag-search sa isang lugar ay dapat merong warrant of arrest or search warrant as the case may be. However, gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina, merong mga exceptions na babanggitin natin sa susunod. Okay. In Section 2, again, it does not extend to acts committed by private individuals. Okay, so again, only acts of state officials or our public officials are protected by this certain provision of our Bill of Rights. Okay, let's start the discussion again with the meaning of warrant of arrest. Okay, what is a warrant of arrest? Ang warrant of arrest is a command in writing to arrest a person designated to take him into custody in order that he may be bound to answer for the commission of an offense. Okay? Command in writing to arrest a person. Okay, that's the difference. Pag warrant of arrest, tao yung tao yung sadya. Okay? Tao yung aarestuhin. Next, what is a search warrant? Search warrant is an order in writing issued in the name of the people of the Philippines, signed by the judge and directed to a peace officer, commanding him to search for certain personal property and bring it before the court. So pag search warrant, ang sadya ay mga personal property o yung kagamitan, mga gamit, bagay. Okay? Pag warrant of arrest, tao. Pag search warrant, ang sadya ay bagay. What is the scope of protection? Let's start with persons for warrant of arrest. The scope of protection is everybody, including corporations. Okay? For houses, not limited to dwelling, it extends to garage, warehouse, shop, store, office, and even safety deposit vault. However, it does not extend to open spaces and field. So, yung karapatan natin na i-discuss natin ngayon extends na hindi lamang siya limited sa dwelling or kung saan ka sa bahay. Okay, it extends to a garage, warehouse, shop, store, office, and even safety deposit vault. However, it does not extend to open spaces and fields. So, para naman sa papers and effects, as long as it is sealed, there is a reasonable expectation of privacy. Okay? Protected yung papers and effects. So, let us discuss and elaborate the principle of warrant of arrest. So, I will now enumerate the requisites of a valid warrant of arrest. Kailan magiging valid ang isang warrant of arrest? Number 1, there must be probable cause. So, what is probable cause? Probable cause is such facts and circumstances antecedent to the issuance of the warrant that in themselves are sufficient to induce a cautious man to rely on them and act in pursuance thereof. So, ito yung sapat na circumstances na pwedeng makapag-convince sa isang taong maingat na aksyonan ang nasabing bagay. Okay? So, that is probable cause. Number 2, a second requisite of a valid warrant of arrest is the determination of probable cause must be done personally by the judge. So, hindi yung probable cause, hindi pwedeng determine siya ng kung sino-sino. Only a judge may determine that a certain warrant of arrest has a probable cause. There is no need to conduct a de novo hearing. It is sufficient that the judge personally evaluate the report submitted by the prosecution. So, hindi naman kailangan ng isang panibagong hearing para masabi ng judge na merong probable cause. It is enough na yung judge mismo yung personally nag-evaluate at nagtimbang sa mga ebidensyang meron at doon sa complaint na nasabi para ma-determine kung meron o walang probable cause. Okay? So, paano naman nasasabi na yung description in a warrant of arrest is sufficient? Okay? As a general rule, warrant of arrest for the apprehension of an unnamed party upon whom it is to be served is void, except if it contains a description of a person or such as it will enable the officer to identify the accused. So, kapag merong isang warrant of arrest, syempre ang sadya ay tao. As a general rule, ang sabi, void daw o hindi tinatanggap ang isang warrant of arrest na may unnamed party o hindi particularly describe kung sino yung taong tinutukoy sa search warrant. However, it will be sufficient if yung description ay enough para ang isang officer na mag-e-effect ng warrant of arrest ay ma-identify niya yung accused kahit wala yung pangalan mismo. Okay? So, there are instances na may warrant of arrest na hindi talaga alam kung sino yung mismong taong inaaresto. So, that pinapangalanan nilang John Doe para sa lalaki, Jane Doe para sa babae. So, ito yung, kunyari, si alias Edward, si alias Boy Manok. Okay. Pero, definitely, their description, minsan, dinodrawing through a sketch, okay? Or yung ibang indications sa katawan nila, yung mga tattoo or anything, as long as the officer will identify the accused pag nakita niya yun, it will be sufficient. Okay? Pero, an unnamed warrant of arrest alone, without any description that will enable a police officer to identify the accused, it will be void. Okay?